Hey everybody, it's FireWhistle23 here. I just wanted to take a moment to talk about a movie I went to see, Toy Story 3. And it is really a good film. It is absolutely a good conclusion to the story of these characters. And first thing I want to say is, spoiler alert. Okay, don't watch, stop now if you haven't seen this movie or are going to go see it. Okay? Alright, so basically what has happened is we have now proceeded to the point where Andy, the boy who owns all these toys, he's going to go to college, and so the time has finally come that he must make a decision about what's going to happen with these toys. And his mother, basically in the most generic of ideas, she's like, clean up your room and figure out what we're going to do before you go to college. Because Andy still has some of these toys left. He has like a group of I think 9 of them left, and I think they're like the most critical toys that meant something to him when he was a child. And so, through a series of events that ensue in the beginning of the movie, they all end up at the Sunnyside Daycare Center, where they meet a bunch of other toys that are there and get assigned to one of the rooms to be played with forever by children. It's essentially what's going to be their fate at this point. And unfortunately, they find out that the kids they're assigned to, they're very, very younger children, so they don't really understand how to play with the toys that actually do have some kind of a context. They're more or less just kind of throwing them around and all this stuff. So the toys are miserable and hate this, and they try to escape, but they find out that this entire compound is pretty much run by this pretty much arrogant, evil toy who, this is how it's going to be when you're here, or you're going to be thrown in the dumpster. And we find out a lot of backstory about that head toy, and I don't want to give away what that is, because it's a really pivotal thing for his character, that you really kind of understand why he's as bitter as he is. And long story short, all the toys decide to end up through another subplot that was going on regarding how they actually ended up at Sunnyside. They decide they want to go back to Andy's, and they have to work out this whole escape to get back to Andy so they can actually do what he wants to happen with them. And they do all this whole great escape from Alcatraz stuff to get out, which they do eventually do. Unfortunately, they also end up going to the garbage dump, and in what I'm going to call a very intensely dramatic scene, they are almost burned alive at the trash dump, but they are actually saved, and they end up getting back to Andy's. The ending to the movie, I'm going to call the very final sequence of the movie, I heard about, unfortunately, I went to Wikipedia and I kind of ruined for myself what the ending of the movie was going to be, as well as seeing some other reviewers talking about what the ending was going to be. It might upset some people kind of looking at it thinking, this doesn't really make sense for the Andy character, but in a way it kind of does, where we've set up the idea that, Andy's kept these toys for this long. They clearly meant something to him, so there is some kind of an emotional draw here to actually finally getting rid of his toys. But it's a bittersweet ending. It's not like the perfect happy ending. It's not an amazing, oh my god, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen ending. It's bittersweet. It's like, this is kind of how this had to end. For Andy, for all the toys, and for the conclusion of the series. I highly recommend it. Please go watch it. Toy Story 3. It has already grossed, at this point, it is now 2 weeks since the film has been out. It has grossed $250 million. It is absolutely a gem. It is worth it. I've loved this as a conclusion to the series. I was not a big fan of the first movie. I didn't really connect with the characters then. I loved Toy Story 2. I thought it did it much better. This one's actually taking it up another notch. Absolutely a full-price movie. Please go see it. Hope you've enjoyed. Take care, and bye-bye for now.